Lisa Denae Live starts now, only on Stunner Radio, the heart and soul of the culture.
Hey guys, this is your girl Lisa Denae, and we are live today on Lisa Denae Live. I have some very special guests in the building with me tonight. And you guys, can you believe that we're in September already? It is September 10th. Tomorrow we will be commemorating September 11th. I'm going to talk to my guests in a little bit about where they were on that day, what are your memories of that day, and how everything changed so drastically since then. It doesn't seem like it was 20 years ago to me, but it's been 20 years since that. So anyway, I want to introduce my special guest, Candace Joseph. She is the CEO of the Joseph Consulting Firm, and she's a talk show host, and she is known as the business guru. Okay, so if you want to be about your business, you're in the right spot tonight. All right, then we have a special guest. Sam is here. This is my brother. Y'all know he watch every show. The Sam E. Wyatt is in the building.
They already know Sam.
And this is my brother from another mother. And the one thing I love about Sam is that he knows me. He respects me. You know, I have no grand expectations of me like some people do. And that sometimes can be very stressful. He just accepts me as I am, and that's a beautiful thing. That's a blessing to have people in your life like that. Right. So we're going to get started. So where were the both of you? Do you remember where you were on September 11th?
Man,
2000, was it 2001?
2001. I do remember. I was driving from Prairie View A&M University. It was my last semester of college, and I was driving for an interview at the CIA building.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I was driving into Houston, and they called me and they said, we need to cancel your interview for today. And I was like, oh, okay. I had the car quiet, kind of jamming my music a little bit. And then I was like, okay, when I got the call, then as soon as I turned it back on, they started talking about the towers are falling. And I was like, what?
Yes.
So I pulled over to a Denny's off of 1960 and 290. And I walked inside and I watched the towers fall. So that's.
And were there other people there? I mean, of course there were other people there, but how was the atmosphere when you all were seeing this happen?
Everybody it was like quiet, like, like everybody was just stunned. And then when the first tower fell, people started crying. Yeah. And I was like, okay, there's like, because I was thinking about the call. It was so quick. We have to reschedule your interview. We have an emergency currently. We're locking down the building. We're not letting visitors in. We'll reschedule you. And I was like, okay. And after 9/11, a few weeks later, I got a thing basically saying that they were stopping our hires for like 6 months.
Wow.
So,
wow.
Yeah. Man.
So do you remember where you were?
Me, I was working Little Rock Air Force Base.
Oh, wow.
And you know what's funny? I was late for work and I was coming in there. And the ladies were like, Sam, you hadn't heard? I'm like, no, I hadn't heard. But then when they said the towers blew up, I say blew up. So then, everybody was around the TV and they showed, me, I'm being old. So I'm like, man. I'm going to tell you the truth, all I thought about was the president.
Mm-hmm.
Being from where I'm from and certain things I'm into, I just thought about the president and I started praying for my homeboys and homegirls over them seas.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's all I was worrying about, tell the truth.
Well, it's crazy because for me, I had just had my oldest son 2 years prior. So I had been out of the workforce. And my husband at the time and I decided it was time for me to go back to work. So I was super excited. I was at my first interview to be office manager at the Jewish Community Center in Columbus, Ohio. That's where I lived at the time. And, I love Jews. I've always loved them. I've always been around them. I've always loved them. Okay. So the interview was going great. I was like, I'm going to get this job because I know all about the cultural requirements of their food. And you can't even bring food in the building that does not, go with their diet.
Yeah.
And so I was down with it and I knew about it and they were liking me and I was liking the opportunity. Then all of a sudden I got shuffled out of that meeting and they started locking everything down. And I was like, what the hell is going on? It's like, we will let you know about this job, but you need to leave now. They was evacuating. I thought it was an attack on the Jewish Center itself.
Oh, wow.
Because the way they
Yeah, you know.
And so I got in my car and I turned on the radio and I was like, oh my God. I couldn't believe it. At that time, it was just a plane has hit the World Trade Center. So nothing had fallen yet, nothing had happened. And I live right down the street from Jewish Center. So when I got home, I turned on the TV and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I couldn't believe it. I thought it was an accident at first. I was like, well, okay, what pilot is hitting the building?
Yeah.
But when the second plane hit, my heart sunk. And I was like, oh my God, this is not an accident.
Yeah.
And I just thought about all the people in those buildings. And I remember for the next few days, nobody was right after that. Everywhere you went, people was just talking about it. Even strangers would come up and say, what do you think about, you know? And I remember being scared to fly for about a year after that.
Oh, wow.
I'm sorry. You were scared to fly?
I remember being scared to fly for about a year after that. Because I couldn't forget. And then, of course, they was releasing the audio of the plane that didn't make it to its destination, where the passengers, you know, overtook the terrorists or whatever.
Yeah, but they got them boys. They handled them boys.
Yeah, they did their thing.
They did their thing.
But after hearing them on there, and it's like, dang, they know they're going to die. It just was a lot for me.
Yeah, no.
It was a lot.
It is. And even, you know, thinking back on it and reliving through it again, because every year they show it, they show the planes. You know, for me, I always think about the kids that grew up without their parents.
Yeah.
And the loved ones that's lost. So every time I go to New York, I always go to World Trade Center Memorial. I always do. I always take video. And I'll never forget that.
Me either. I know that a friend of mine had a cousin who worked in the building. And I just felt so bad for her. I didn't even want to call her because I was like, dang, I know her cousin worked there. She was so proud of her cousin. And she called me in tears. And I was like, okay, now let me comfort her. Let me figure out something to say.
Yeah.
And she was like, sis, my cousin did not go to work today. Her stomach was tore up from something she ate. And she said when she turned on the news, she couldn't do nothing but cry.
God.
Because her whole building was wiped out. So everybody she knew, they was already at work.
Man.
Wow.
And so she didn't go because her stomach. And I said, my God, can you imagine that?
Yes.
That's hard for me to even make up. Like, she must feel some sort of guilt a little bit, but also thankful.
Oh, yeah.
That something made you not go.
Ooh, because I remember that day because I was like, my dad called me and my dad was working in a federal building. He said, they put us on lockdown. I got to turn off my phone. I said, wait, you can't get out. He's like, no, I cannot get out. And they had him locked in that building for hours.
Wow.
Like hours. It was like, whoa.
Security measures.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hours.
I think about it all the time because I unfortunately don't think that's the last thing we're going to see, even though in recent years we've been our own terrorists, like American citizens have been the terrorists. So, but I still don't think that the foreign terrorists are done with us yet.
Man, that's another world and another story.
Yeah.
Right?
That's a whole show right there.
Especially when you said our own people, you know.
Our own people are terrorists now.
Dang.
You know, when you go out, you're not scared of what we used to call Arab. When you're looking at them funny, like, you ain't scared of them no more. You're scared of the white folks now because you're looking at the little white boy that don't get no attention. And you're like, he might shoot up Walmart. So let me go and get my stuff and get on out of here.
I mean, but you gotta think about the climate that we're in, though. Like everything's so politically charged, it's so racially charged, it's so money motivated.
And it don't have to be.
You know, right? It don't have to be because it's like if you look at it from a global sense, we're all dealing with the same thing. You know, I don't care what nobody say. Everybody should be getting a check for a little bit of PTSD right now. I said it. You know,
that's what I've been saying for
I
years.
said it. I said it.
Black people, we've been traumatized through our DNA.
Yeah, the day you was born, you was traumatized.
Yep.
Yeah, we definitely need to check for PTSD. After you watch a black man be killed on TV by cops, you mean you're not traumatized by that? We're all traumatized. After you watch a black man get shot just trying to reach for his ID, we're all traumatized behind that.
Yeah, but they say we're supposed to be immune to that.
I don't see how.
That's because of the sensationalism.
That's right.
Think about everything that's online, the videos people post online, the stuff that's on YouTube, even the movies that are real graphic and stuff nowadays. So of course, just like when they're reporting about COVID-19, you know, right now on the news, we're supposed to be all right with the fact that they say something happy, then say something about COVID, then say something about sports, then say something about COVID, then say something about the community little league, and then talk about COVID. Talk about the weather, then they talk about COVID. So it's like, okay, they think that we're supposed to be immune to it because of sensationalism that, you know, is out there within, you know, media. And being a part of the media, we have a responsibility as well. And a lot of times people, they forget that part. But at the same time, as citizens, we all have to play our part in that. And, you know, not believe the hype and do the education and find out the stuff for ourselves too. But everything is supposed to be about that because everything's online. Everything's so easily accessible. And I think that's the reason why everything's so shocking. It's going on during COVID while everybody had time to sit at home and do nothing but watch TV,
but
go online.
I say people just don't listen because me, I can say myself, I don't listen, you know. You got to sit back and just listen. Yeah. You know, just like your pastor say, just listen. Even though they don't listen, but you got to listen. If you sit back and just listen, you can see a lot.
I mean, you certainly can, but if you listen too long and look too long,
you'll go so blind.
Sad.
But
you'll be in a funk because when you think about the fact that I'm glad for the vaccine, and I think it's wonderful that they're making it accessible to people in vulnerable areas. All this that they're doing, they're giving it free. They're offering cash bonuses and incentives.
But that should have been done at first.
What bothers us and what bothers me is that, so if you can do this, you got people got to choose between their diabetic medicine and their electric bill. You can't get that free too. You can't subsidize some of these other needs that people have to live. Yes. Clearly you can't.
Because everything's going up. The price of everything is going up. And then you go into some stores, they don't have socks, they don't have underwear, they don't have anything due to the fact that we were so dependent on, you know, importing everything in. But we are a society, we are a nation that do not export anything. What do we export out? You don't see in the other countries where they got Ford F-150s.
Because they don't have to do that. It was already script. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. We're being script now, you know. It's like we behind. We behind, but we the leader of all nations, but we're way behind for his living. You know what I'm saying?
I think because we are over-entertained, overstimulated, undereducated, and undermotivated.
Well, we can't say undereducated. We can't say undereducated. It's taken away. You know, it really is taken away now. You know, I can't say we're undereducated because there's a lot of things we know that wasn't happening too, and you know we was getting on it. Now, really, it just hitting the bottom line, the nail. You know, the hammer on top of the nail, and instead of us really just sitting back like we should. We still running.
But I think when you look at other countries, even how they learn and how they come over here and learn the game, and
you've
been here all this time.
You said it. They come to learn the game.
But in my opinion, they had the game before they arrived.
Well, they're part of the creators of the game.
They're
part of the creators
of the
game. But we've been witnessing it too, though. We've been witnessing the game. But that's why I say we're over entertained. Yeah. Because the entertainment is what distracts us from the game. Like you said, if you watch and you listen, you pay attention, you see the game. It's all around you. The game is all around you. Like Bernie Sanders talks all the time about the top 2% of our population is the richest. 2%. Right. And we got the nerve to have people sleeping on the street. We got the nerve to have children being shuffled from CPS offices. They don't got no place to put your children. So they sleeping in office buildings. But we're the richest nation, like you said.
Right. But you have to also remember that we have been culturalized to the point where we're taught that dog eat dog. And you know what I mean? Dog eat dog, be cutthroat, you know, don't be a community collective in order to make global change.
Especially not us.
You know, but the thing about it is we're marginalized. Instead of us coming together as a marginalized community and making something happen and being that catalyst, we worry about the 2%.
Yes. But because really it's the 98% of us that's feeding them though. And if we came together, especially Black people, if we came together like the Asians do, man, we'd be unstoppable.
I mean, really, we rule the world, but you know, so until we do decide not to turn our nose up at each other, we will come together. But as long as we turn our nose up at each other, it ain't gonna never happen.
That's true.
And it gotta start. It gotta start with your family, and you know, like we just talking earlier. There's a lot of unhappy people out there, so they're just walking and running with others, you know, without really sit back thinking what's the root of the problem.
Yeah, that's true. And sometimes you have to let your family go.
Yeah.
Because
so that's why.
in order to save or be a part of the solution with others.
That's right.
But you gotta cut out anything that's toxic.
Yes.
No matter what kind of ship it is.
You can cut it out.
You gotta cut it out.
But you ain't gonna cut it out, so but you just have to learn. You need to learn your boundaries and stop giving in. We give in too much. And like me, I speak personally on that. I run my mouth on certain things. I'm hard charged on, but then when I'm talking to you, I start giving in. But then at the end, I get pissed off because I shouldn't have gave in. But we gonna give in. It come with age.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So
well, that's another difference that you see in our society right now.
Right.
There's such a gap between generations now when it comes to passing down information and knowledge. First of all, the new generation not trying to hear nothing we saying because they feeling like it's not working. It ain't working for y'all. So why are you telling me to do this? I feel like I could do something different. So we're losing so many people behind our old ways of thinking and our ways of, talking and not acting. Because this new generation, they got action.
They would listen.
Like,
they would listen, though.
Y'all doing a lot of talking, but y'all not doing nothing.
Right, because it comes with like you raising your child. I mean, they looking too. You can say what you're gonna say. I use myself for examples on a lot of things, so it won't be out of line. Like me, I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna do it. And you might see me doing it here. And like we here now, but then you might see me with somebody else. I'm still gonna be doing the same thing, and I'm still gonna be checking you. But still, you got other people that still scared to check other people that they know, and that's the big gap right there.
That's true. That's true. But at the same time, it's like in order for us, like you said about the generations not passing on the information, and the younger generation don't want to listen. I don't think that that's that. I think that the younger generation realize that the older generation is still oppressed mentally.
Yes.
Yes.
That's what I mean.
We're oppressed.
It's not working for y'all.
That's right.
Y'all telling me something.
Well, we can't say it ain't working, but we gotta let them run. Right.
They looking at us saying y'all still in chains.
That's
it.
How you telling me
that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
But see, that's the thing where it comes with callous like us in this room that think different, act different. We're the enemy all of a sudden.
Yes.
In certain circles. We're the enemy because we think different, we act different. We're not going to go with what the status quo say we can go. Because the thing about it is, when you're in a place of healing, you realize that I don't have to do it the way grandma did it. I don't have to do it the way mama did it. And at the same time, when can I forgive myself and forgive my ancestors because they truthfully didn't curse me, as some people say. They truthfully used the education, the opportunities, the technology, and the knowledge and the self-love that they had at the time.
Right.
So how can I beat them down about what was in front of them? Because if it wasn't for them going through their struggle, we wouldn't be here.
Right.
That's right. We would already have been wiped out.
So how can I say that advice grandma gave me was wrong or advice mama gave me was wrong? No, it wasn't wrong. They did what they had to do. It was right for the time.
Yes.
So
it was right for the time.
Yeah.
But I think, even we have to see times change.
Times change.
Some of our ways got to change.
Yes, we got to change. I talk to my dad
about this all the time because he does not want to get online. I said, Dad, and my business is fine. I don't have no website. I said, yeah, but you know how much more business you can have.
Right.
You have to get online. Like, I don't want to do it. Okay, we'll sit down somewhere and let me do it for you.
Yeah, that goes to people.
Change.
Yeah.
Change is hard. If it is hard.
It's hard because I had to change just by listening to my daughters. You know what I'm saying? Whew.
And it's definitely hard when you brought them into this world.
That's right.
And you're looking at them like, what do you know? I was here before you. You know?
Because you got to understand that, it took a lot for me, because you got to understand, change. Because I had my change when I was growing up. And I wasn't as, I'm going to say we all wasn't as bold as they are right now, though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's the only difference that I disrespect of them. They are so bold that they're really losing reality because you still don't never know who you might need. Yeah, they being bold, but still you can't be bold.
It's kind of like the childhood kind of thing. It's like they still have a little piece of their childhood left, but then we have to think about the younger generation. They came in with all the technology already at their fingerprints. So for most of us, we were in that gap part where we still looking at paper and pen and books, and then we learning about computers, and then we still kind of gravitating through. Like my first phone, my first smartphone was a Palm Pilot.
Oh wow.
Okay, I had a Palm Pilot. Then I upgraded to a BlackBerry. Then I upgraded to the iPhone. I think it was 3 or something. I never switched iPhone in because why? Then I got to learn a whole nother system. So I don't know anything about Android phones, and I'm cool with saying that. But it's kind of like, okay, if we're going to evolve as a human race, it starts within us. So every day when I wake up, it's kind of like, okay, what can I do that's going to create some kind of impact somewhere?
Right.
What am I going to do? Where am I going to do it at? Am I going to do it within my home? Am I going to do it within my business clients? Am I going to do it on a global scale? How exactly am I going to do it?
Right.
So
that's a very good point. But you have to be, like you said, intentional about those type of things.
And open.
You just wake up and go with the flow of your life. You got to be intentional and say, today I want to make an impact. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when you wake up thinking about that, of course you're going to make an impact.
Yeah.
But if you wake up just going with the flow of whatever hit your day, the impact is being made upon you. You know, you're not necessarily making an impact. But we're going to take a real quick break because I love the word that you mentioned, evolution. I want to talk about that when we talk about developing a wealth mindset.
Okay.
But before that, we're going to take a quick break and we're going to be right back to give a quick tribute to Michael K. Williams, who passed away this week. And also we're going to speak real quickly and briefly because I can't speak too long on this, about our Texas governor, Governor Abbott. So you guys don't go.
A hero, huh?
We got a lot for you. Don't go where we be right back.
This show was sponsored in part by Flat Fee Tax Prep and Services, offering quality tax preparation, serving clients nationwide. For more information, visit www.flatfeecreditandtax.com. And don't forget to mention Stunner Radio sent you. Hey, it's your girl Lisa Denae, and I want to tell you about a product that has changed my life. Rain Premium Sanitary Napkins. Rain products are infused with a Nobel Prize-winning material called graphene. It's the graphene strip that provides the various health benefits that can improve your quality of life during that time of the month. Listen, I've been very loyal to a certain brand of feminine products, but I've never experienced the results I get with Rain products. The difference is in the graphene strip. Using Rain products has totally eliminated the painful cramps I experience, and it can also help balance your body's pH, eliminate harmful bacteria, and help fight fatigue. Graphene moves heat away from your core to keep you cool and comfortable. Ladies, it's time to upgrade your feminine care with products that not only offer protection, but also improve your health and wellness. Place your order today and receive your premium sanitary napkins delivered directly to your door. Visit www.drfcare.com to make your purchase today. And don't forget to mention that your girl Lisa Denae and Stunner Radio sent you.
All right, you guys, we're back, and as you can see behind the scenes, we have our own discussion. I wish you could be here, okay? So we are going to talk real quick about one of my most favorite actors, Michael K. Williams, and the fact that he passed away this week. Now, they are saying that it could have been a drug overdose, but we don't have the official information in yet. So let me ask my guest, what do you feel about this? Did you know of him? Were you a fan? What were your thoughts when you found out that he passed away this week?
Well, for me, I could say I've been a fan of, Michael K. Williams since he was a dancer.
Oh, wow. Way back.
Way back. Okay. People don't know that, look, he was always a dancer. When they see those little videos on Instagram, they were like, oh, I didn't know he could get down. It's like, hey, y'all need to go back to CNC Music Factory. Y'all need to go back to CC Pennington videos and look at that and see what he choreographed. This man traveled the world as a dancer, before he got into that, fight, and it changed his whole life. I feel that, a lot of conversations he opened the doors for people to talk about. And he did it, with his correspondence job with Vice. So,
I love that.
Yeah.
I love the series he did on Vice.
Yeah. But the thing about it is that sometimes people don't realize that, when you work heavy jobs like that, with either within the acting realm or documentary style, people don't know that it takes a part of you, and you have to learn how to go back and do that detox to get back to your normalcy.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what happened in that situation. You don't know what someone's going through, regardless of if he had an issue with drugs or addiction, anything like that. Let's be real. All of us are addicted to something every day. So for me, I can't judge someone based on what happened in a life choice that they happened, it happened with. But I will say this, I remember him as a great actor, a great dancer, and just a great humanitarian, period. Yeah. That's where I'm at with it. Everything else, I don't care about he died. I'm just going to honor the fact that he lived, period. Yeah, that's like me. Me, myself, I can't judge no man. And, we done lost a lot of good soldiers, And, the average black man, they want to say we on drugs anyway. So, I throw that out the window when anything comes up because we didn't have a lot of deaths. The doctors are killing us now, The hospitals are getting their money for their ventilators. So, I just pray for that brother's soul and his family, because, hey, you never know what goes on behind closed doors because I'm human myself. That's it. Yeah, I mean, that's true. And I think for me, I was a fan of him since The Wire. I didn't know he was a dancer. Yeah. But when I seen him I watched The Wire because of him until Stringer Bell came on the scene. Then it was over for everybody. Yeah. But I watched The Wire because of him. He had a sense of realness about him. And that always draws me. I'm drawn to real people. Yeah. And I felt such a connection when I saw his series on Vice, the work he did on even Boardwalk Empire, which was such a different character, but he was so good. He owned it. He did. Even in Lovecraft Country, even the short times we saw him in When They See Us, was so on point. And if you ever saw The Night Of, oh my God. Yep. With Riz Ahmed, they together, they were just perfect. That's a good movie to go watch tonight, right? For real. That one was everything. Real talk. Like he played the role. The man was very gifted. But I also feel like the reason I feel like I had such a connection with him is because I can relate to a person that is tortured by their gifts. See, some people don't understand when you're so gifted. It comes along with a certain amount of torture. And responsibility. And responsibility, which is part of the torture. Yeah. The responsibility that you hold is part of the torture. And a lot of artists, a lot of people that are gifted, we self-medicate with different things. You said that number one word. Say it again. Self-medicate. We do it with different things. Right. Me personally, I have my vice, just like anybody else, I get an edible every night. And just ask God. You know why? Well, God bless me with the cancer. That's right. I'm just saying. He already knew I need help with my anxiety. Yeah, you already know me. You know me. So see me. I'm a little different in that way because I know what vices to do and I know what tunnels it could take you down. So for me, I'm a little bit different in that way. It's about education. So for me, I go through where I take on a new project or I do something for a charity or I try to use my gift in a different way or I look back at it and say, okay, what can I do next? Yeah. And so for me, I fuel my brain with education, with knowledge to figure out how I can help be a better global citizen. That's good. So that's my vice. I'm just addicted to work. That's why I got no dating life now. Me too. I be like, come to the station with me. Right? Come up here. I got some work. Learn to be an assistant. That's the best thing. Take some of this home my plate. Look, I'm an acts of service person as far as my love language, coming and going. So to me, it's like, look, you go pick up that dry cleaning, man. You just don't even understand. You got this heart all day. Bring my dinner while I'm up there and Cynthia with me and help me work. Yeah. I'm addicted to work as well. I get that. And I also get that from my dad. But I feel like when people around you know that you're like that, we have to learn how to check on each other. Yes. Because it's always the people that are so motivational and encouraging to everybody else who don't have nobody to do that for them. Say that again. Wait, didn't you talk about that? We have talked about that before. That's why I said we had to have a CEO sister circle. We had to do that. We had to do that because I really want to know what's wrong. Yeah. Because sometimes please get over your stuff so you can help me again. Please get over whatever you're going through so you can help me again. A lot of times it's not really concern. It's just that's why you gotta stop her from doing for me. You gotta have somebody that you can talk to. I'm gonna be honest with that. You gotta have somebody that you can spit to. I mean,
And you gotta be able to take their criticism because if you can't, it's just a waste.
Yes.
And then the other thing to start all this off, you gotta learn to start taking criticism. Cause I usually, like I said, I speak for me, and I'm the worst character on it. I had to learn to take criticism, and I only woke up after my mama passed. But you know, real talk, everybody needs somebody to talk to, and I'm saying that live now because I know I always need someone to talk to, but like you say, you know, you people reach out to you so much, and you try to help them out, and you help them out, but then when you know you really need some help, you don't even bother asking no one because you know the first thing they're gonna say, oh, you know, they might be a jib, but man, I don't have time to hear that.
And even
especially when I know I'm there for you, I don't have time to hear that.
Especially when it's a mental or emotional need that you have. It's almost like they can't speak the same language no more with you. They don't understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I just need you to be a friend. I just need you to listen. I don't need you to give feedback right now.
Right.
I understand I do need to have some feedback, but right now I need to be heard.
And sometimes people think that you want them to come in and, you know, put on that cape and swoop in like a superhero and solve the issue. Sometimes that's not even it. Sometimes you just want to talk. But one thing I've learned over the years is that I'm very selective in who I open up to. And the reason why I say that is because when somebody else, when you open up to somebody that's already going through a storm, they can't see your storm. They can't see your storm. They can't, because they can't see past their own issues, their own problems, their own whatever it is. So when they're going through theirs, they're not going to see what you're going through. They're not even really going to care. And it doesn't mean that they don't care about you as a person. If they can't figure out their own, how they going to figure out yours? How can they even balance that? You can't balance that connection that way.
Right.
And I had to learn that the hard way. Yeah. Because even people will say they can.
Yeah.
And say that I can understand, I can be there for you, but really they can't. Like you said,
they don't know how.
They're going through their own. Hey, Milton McCullough, thank you so much for tuning in. Yeah. But they're going through their own thing. How can they?
They don't know how. Yeah. And because the thing about it is that truthfully, if you really think about as a people being marginalized, we don't know how to have those coping skills. So that's why when people always crack jokes about people that go to therapy, I said, wait a minute, hold up. Sometimes I'd rather pay somebody and have them listen.
Yes.
Because it's judgment-free zone. Yes. I need a safe space. Yes. If my friend can't give me a safe space, this doctor can, and I'm cool with paying my copay every week. And I mean, I'm just saying, people always feel like it's certain kind of handicaps because we have been conditioned that what goes on in the house, stay in the house. I say, forget that, tear the roof off the thing and heal.
That's what.
Tear it off and heal. Tear off and heal. Even if you don't heal, the thing about it is a lot of times we feel like, oh, we're going through a healing process. Oh, we're going to therapy. I need to tell everybody they need to go to therapy. Therapy is an individual decision. It's an individual thing. Yeah. And at the same time, you're in a healing situation, cool. Because I know what it's like to be in a healing continuum. And I only want people around me that's in the same healing continuum. Because I can't have someone that's toxic and damaged in the way of my healing.
That's right. If it ain't a group thing, it's not.
Whole mouthful.
Right. That's it.
You know why? Because toxic people are drawn to people that are healing.
Yes.
So you draw them.
Yes.
Because they can sense your healing energy, and all of a sudden you got all these toxic people around you. You thinking,
and they drawing your energy.
But it's
That's
your
right.
Yes. But it's an energy exchange. You
That's
know,
right.
Look now, Lisa, you talked about that before.
Yes.
It's an energy exchange. No matter what kind of ship you are in.
Yes.
Now, what kind of relationship you're in, it's an energy exchange. So to me, if the energy ain't right, I got to chunk the deuce and leave.
People better realize that too. That energy comes in relationships.
Yeah.
But it comes with any kind of ship. It can come from a business partnership. It can come from a kinship.
Relationship,
it can come from any type of relationship.
Everything you do is a relationship. So you got to be comfortable with everything you do.
Because even with business, I don't take on every client because if you walk in my office and you have changed the whole energy and atmosphere when you walk through the door, I listen to them and then I tell them, let me refer you to someone else. See, I don't want any money that I feel like comes from bad energy because as a Buddhist, it will mess up my karma.
Oh, I didn't know you were a Buddhist.
Yeah, I'm a Buddhist.
Man, I gotta have you back because I want to talk about all that.
Yeah, I'm a Buddhist.
But I just say this because you brought up something that's really, really good. because I think that some people don't feel like they have a choice with the people that come in their life, but we do.
You always got a choice.
But you know, people think they don't. Like,
because
that's
worry.
My friend. I've been knowing her for 20 years.
So
well,
what?
That's my mother. Well, that's my sister. But the bad energy pulls you down. You can feel it.
You can.
And you know who it is.
You can. And the thing about it is, we're all shaped by our experiences, all kind of experiences. Mm-hmm. People always say, oh, okay, it's your education, it's your job status, it's your status in life. No, forget that. You are shaped by the experiences that you have. And the thing about it is, if you can't surround yourself with people that value your life experience, you might have a difference in opinion, but respect the fact that I went through some things in life too. It might not have been on the same level, but you don't know what it might have damaged me, or it might have hurt me to the same extent that it hurt you, even though it was something of a lesser grade.
Right.
So it's kind of like you can't discount anybody, their life experiences, what they went through to get to who they are, because it shaped them in some type of way. Yeah. And so when you talk about people, drawn to the energy of someone that's in a healing process, yes, because truthfully, that person wants you to rub off on them.
Yes, but it's a lot. It's a lot.
You can be empathetic. You can be empathetic. You can be sympathetic without damaging yourself.
That's right. But see, you said something too. You remember that old thing we used to say, what goes on in the house stays in the house?
Yeah.
But see, there's a meaning behind that. And see, that what people don't understand. Pillow talk stays in the house.
It should.
Okay. So that's the only thing I worry about, because, that's like, that will stop kids and everything from communicating. And when that came out, that would stop me. So with my kids, no. Because, that keeps people from reaching out too. You know what I'm saying?
But it keeps you oppressed.
Right.
But then you feel like that about everything.
The house might not be good.
But the same thing. Think about how that mindset rolls over to anybody that has a 9-to-5 job. People that, you're trying to build connections with people, but you're kind of scared to even open up, because you're like, well, dang, okay, this is something that happened to me. This person is talking about their experience. Am I in a safe space to even share?
They put a limit on you.
Yeah, but at the same time, we're limiting ourselves by not being truthful and telling the stories of our lives. Everybody that you meet in life is a storyteller. I don't care who it is. I don't care if you wrote a book. You could write 50 books. I don't care if somebody wrote a book and it's 5 pages. They are a storyteller.
Yeah, because everybody has a story.
Everybody got a story. Everybody got a journey. But it's all about how you envelop the journey and decide what you're going to put out.
Yes.
So I changed my life, and I don't have no issues with telling people that. A few years back, I can honestly say I was egotistic. I was a narcissist. I was a manipulator. I was someone that hated everybody. I used to get mad at people, but I was generous and loving at the same time. So for me, it was always this internal conflict within myself. Who can I be nice to? Who's actually genuinely for me?
And you already nice and generous.
And I'm already nice and generous, but at the same time,
that's me too. Yeah.
So I turned into a narcissist, and I used to tell people all the time, man, you even lucky you in my presence right now. I'm sorry, who are you?
That wasn't even you. You see what I'm saying?
And it wasn't even me, because I was so scared to show my generous side, because I was bullied from a kid all the way through college. Yeah. I was bullied.
Well, we do evolve through our environment.
Yes.
And that's something that people try to act like it's not real, but that is very real.
Yep.
And it is an inner conflict that you have with yourself, because you're behaving in a way that's not you.
Yes.
But you feel like I have to behave this way to survive where I am at.
The shell.
I noticed that, because since I lived in Texas, I have changed so much.
You sure
have. Sometimes I get so mad at myself, because it's not me. It's not me to walk past people and not speak. It's not me to be isolated.
But no.
But when I came here, I learned I have to be that way.
Yeah, there you go.
This place is different.
But you have to. The thing about it is, it's not so much about being different. You have to, for one, you have to protect your own energy.
Stand up for your space.
Your space. So you have to be able to say, okay, well, hey, I have to set this boundary. Yeah, we understand about the Southern charm and all of that. But at the same time, we have to remember there's undertones in everything that's around. Yeah. Texas is different. Texas is like a whole country by itself.
Yeah, we got our own.
Let's just be real about that. Look, we already got our own electrical grid. Yeah. So, we the only ones that really pump up about high school football like that. So it's like we're our own ecosystem. But at the same time, when you're dealing with forces that are damaging within the ecosystem, how can you thrive within the ecosystem? You can't.
You can't, because you have to evolve.
Yep.
And that's something that I was going to talk about, which I don't know if we'll have time for, but I've been noticing a lot of articles talking about nature and how animals, birds in particular, are evolving due to our environment. Their beaks are getting longer. They're making different sounds. They're doing a whole lot of things to fit into our now environment, not the environment that they were in before. So we, as people, do the same thing. We evolve into something that helps us to survive.
Yep.
And I really believe that if we got understanding of that in the Black community, we would treat each other better. Because when Black men, a lot of times deal with Black women, they don't understand that we have evolved into this strong, independent, no-nonsense person.
No.
Because of what we had to do to survive.
Black boys can't understand Black women.
No, that's a good point.
You know, and I'm not knocking my brothers down, because they already know we talk about this. Black boys are knocking down Black women. Because me, I'm retired, been retired over 10 years. And a lot of people like, man, your woman, man, boy, she can go to work every day. I work, you know. But a lot of men, for my brothers, it ain't nothing, but a lot of them are intimidated. But I wouldn't be intimidated. I've been blessed.
But think about what you said earlier about how we have to develop into the wealth mindset, right?
But so that comes with education.
Yes, but at the same time, we have to think about how we feel wealth is actually defined.
That's what we want to get to.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. See, because for me, I don't look at wealth as money.
No,
money come, money go.
Yes,
you can have it all and lose it all. Look, I done been there. Okay,
household.
I done been there. So
they talk about a household is weak without a man. No, I give y'all props. You don't need a man to make a strong household, because my mama didn't have a man, and our household was strong, clean, and respectful.
Mm-hmm. But it starts within the individual, and it starts at home.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It's like you have to change your mindset, because in order to gravitate towards wealth, whatever that definition of wealth is to you, you have to change your mindset, period. And the first thing that changes the mindset is forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When we gonna forgive
yourself?
Forgiving yourself.
Forgiving others.
Yes, but at the same time, you got to forgive yourself for everything you got right, everything you got wrong, and everything in between.
Yeah.
Because how can you shift?
Yeah, it do.
It took me 10 years to get out of my own way. 10.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell people all the time, I was a person, I knew I was smart, but I figured that nobody would listen. I knew that I can close deals, but how can I even muster up the courage to walk in the room?
Mm-hmm.
How can I do that? And once I got out of my own way, I was able to create a global brand.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, and I do it with my $10 Walmart shoes on. So like I said, it depends on what you define wealth as.
Yeah.
But I had to forgive myself for everything I got right, everything I got wrong, every time I succeeded in something, every time I failed in something. Because a lot of people don't get that. Because when you make it to a certain status, and I'm going to put that in air quotes, status, whatever that means to you, then you're always thinking about the next thing. How can I top the next thing, the last thing I did? How can I top that? And then you create this powder keg of pressure that you can't even live up to, and the only competition you got is you.
Because a lot of people don't have goals.
But at the same time, who goals are we trying to reach?
You got to reach your own goals. But see, that's what I'm saying.
But if you don't know how to shape your own goals,
that's why we got to get back into it. You know,
but we have to forgive ourselves. We got to forgive ourselves for what didn't work. We can't be mad at mommy and daddy because they worked a blue collar job and your friends made fun of you.
Right. So you got to spread your wealth to the next instead of keeping it inside.
Look, let's be real. I grew up in the hood. I grew up in 3rd Ward. My mom worked for the Postal Service. My dad used to work when I was a kid. My dad used to work for NASA. He always worked government. But we never moved out of the hood. I used to get teased at school because I was a student that wasn't on free lunch. You know what that's like, getting beat up in the bathroom because your parents can afford for you to carry a lunch kit in a thermos, right? And then it was like, okay, like I said, certain things will shape you. Right. But then it was like, as a kid, I used to get mad. And go home and tell them, why do y'all have to have such a good job? Not thinking about the fact that my parents were grooming me to evolve, but to understand that you stay in the community. That's why I live in the hood now. You don't leave the hood. You change the hood.
That takes some real dedication, some real commitment, and some real patience.
No,
but you do it one person.
I can't do it at this point.
But you do it one person at a time. You can't. The thing about it is, as entrepreneurs, we're here to solve problems, right? But the thing about it is, we feel like we got everybody's problems on our shoulders. We don't. You have one client's problem at a time on your shoulders. Yeah. You have one client at a time. The thing about it is, you can talk about changing the world, and I want to change media, and I want to, because, me and you talked about that, because look, me and you going to do some things together. But anyway, we're going to talk about that later. But when we think about how we have to come together to create the change, it starts one person at a time.
Absolutely.
When you change one mindset, you can change many.
Yeah. But
we have to forgive ourselves and understand that everybody that's out there in the world is not your enemy. There are a lot of business consultants out there, and especially in Houston, and none of these people are my enemy.
So there are a lot everybody just going for the same cookie.
But at the same time, the way each person that I've met in media, in business, they are all different. It's something about them that I look at that, I'll be like, dang,
it's amazing.
Look at that. Yes. Yeah. So for me, I'm not someone that's going to try to beat myself to the cookie. I'm going to congratulate my friend and say, yeah, you got that cookie. I'm going to go over here and get this one.
Right.
Yeah, it's enough for everybody.
Right.
Or, hey, this client, I feel like you can take this client to a level that I can't. Here is their name and number. Yeah. So it's all about your mindset and what you want to do. We can't take on all of the world's problems, but we can solve one problem at a time, and we can change one mind at a time, but it starts within us. If you can't convince you to change your own mindset and to be free and to stop thinking about who your master is and be your own
master.
Yes. Because I think it
so people, because a lot of people, but think about this too. When you talk about mindset, a lot of entrepreneurs make this mistake. They want to get into business because somebody else is in business and they see what somebody else is doing, and they don't understand the blood, sweat, tears, sacrifice. If you go from working a 9 to 5 to working from 9 a.m. to 3 a.m. the next morning, it's some dedication and sacrifice there.
Especially when you don't have nobody on your back. You got to be on your own back.
And you are your own safety net.
You your own, absolutely.
You your own safety net.
And I have said that for so long that, I don't want anybody to get me wrong out there. I'm not a basher of Houston. I love Houston. I've been here for 8 years. But I will say this. It is one of the most competitive cities I've ever lived in, where everybody sees each other as competition. And it baffles me because we are not each other's competition.
And you know what's crazy about it? People treated me like that coming into the business scene and coming into media, to the point where I even had to deal with death threats, right?
Yes.
And for me, it was like, kind of like, do you realize that when I wake up in the morning, I don't care about what your Facebook says. I don't care about your Instagram. Yeah. I'm not following you online to troll you or surveillance surveillance. I'm a person, I see you doing this and doing that. I'm congratulating you. I got a global award. Silence.
Bam.
But see, that's because people do not know how.
No,
it's know how to let go
when you're raised, but
it
comes from a cliquish society.
Yeah.
When are we gonna stop being a cliquish society and start looking at the gifts that we have? If we collectively bring them together, what we can do. That's the reason why I started my firm. My firm is a co-op of entrepreneurs that each have their own lane, own specialty.
Ideas. That's nice.
But it's kind of like, I got somebody for goal setting. Right. I got somebody that's a life coach. I got somebody that does graphics, somebody that does videography, photography. I got somebody that teach you how to style yourself and model yourself in clothing. I have someone that, teaches people how to speak in public.
Right.
Like, everything that I got is geared to help an entrepreneur or a nonprofit come together. And I did it with a bunch of people right here in Houston to debunk the theory that Black and brown people can't get together and work together. And I don't ask nobody for no referral fee. If I close a deal for somebody on my crew to do a website, you know what? That's your fee. If they pay me for coaching or they pay me for my gifts, then hey, I get paid from that. Mm-hmm. We start a collective mindset because it starts within us. That's why I did what I did. And a lot of people in Houston hated me for it. They hated the fact that in 2020, I gave away every service. Wow. I didn't care if somebody needed an app a website, a business plan. If they need a business coaching, I didn't care. I gave it all away. That's when the death threat started.
Yeah, because they was doing dirty, so you did good.
And you're taking away clients that they feel like you're taking away clients.
Yeah, but you're not.
Get it to you for free, then how am I going to charge them? But what people have to understand is that there's enough clients out there for everybody.
But the thing about it is, I did not give it away for free to draw people through my doors. That wasn't it. I gave it away for free because, first of all, I have clients on monthly contracts with me. I got tired of people calling me after COVID hit.
But that's a strategy. That is a good strategy.
I play chess, not checkers.
That's a good strategy.
But you know what I'm saying? I wanted to stop the pain. As an entrepreneur, it's my job to keep you in profit. Right. That's why I'm the business guru.
That brings profit.
It brings profit, but at the same time, I didn't look at it that way.
That's right.
I didn't look at it from a money standpoint. I looked at it from the standpoint of here I am trying to help my fellow entrepreneurs stay in business. Look, let's just be real. I'm 200-some pounds, so I eat every day, apparently. So I wasn't going to starve by doing it. And we do it for a collective good. We had people that could pay, that offered to pay for services for companies that was on the brink of shutting their doors.
Wow.
And we still have that to this day. My firm even has a sliding scale.
Wow. We
even invest in other people's companies, help them grow, put the money, profits in a bank account, give it back to them 6 months later. We don't need your business.
That's really
good,
community service.
That's community.
But that's what it's about. We're here to, if we're really here to build and empower, how can I, and I'm going to speak for me. I'm not going to speak for everybody on my firm because everybody in my firm is different. But how can I, if I'm given a gift, why would I hoard it for cash?
That's a good thought.
If you serve the community, the money comes. Period. I play chess, not checkers. That's why I was able to evolve into radio. I was able to evolve in a television space where now I'm part owner of a television network. I was able to evolve into helping other people launch radio stations all over the country. I evolved and I taught lessons. That's why my radio show is on Princeton University's website as a part of the entrepreneur class. I evolved and I gave it away for free. I didn't tell these people, you got to write me a check. How can we build up a global society to be better if we're going to hoard it all for money? Please understand, I got some clients that's going to pay me the fees that I need to get paid so I can eat good and buy me some more $10 Walmart shoes because they're comfortable and I like them.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm an entrepreneur. I struggle like everybody else. Some months I'm good. Some months on the profit side, I'd be like, ooh.
But you still got to make sure you able to stand up and walk too.
Oh, but the thing about it is, I'm going to stand up and walk regardless because I have faith in who I am. And my clients have never let me down. When I opened my office space, I had a folding chair and a little $10 little laptop table and 6 offices. I went on Facebook Live and said, hey, man, look, we got an office, man. Look, I'm taking appointments today. What's up? I moved it out of the house. It's COVID. I moved it out of the house. I needed a better way. Too much traffic going in and out. My parents are older, so no. And they just retired from their jobs. No way I'm not going to have this kind of traffic coming through the doors. So I got an office space. Do you know my whole office space is furnished by everybody that I helped in 2020? I still have people sending me ink, paper, all of that, and clients. And it's the thing, people are worried about Houston. Like I told you before, I offered it to Houston first. Nobody in Houston bid, right? Because of the click. Chicago, Detroit, Pittsburgh, New York, LA, Jamaica, Australia, Canada, Paris. I'm helping a group of refugees right now in London, Paris. I got an award last month in Paris.
And that's because you thought in a different mindset.
We're global. Just because I operate locally does not mean I don't have a global mindset. I started with the globe and brought it local.
And that's what we all have to do, especially in media, because now the world is open. Everybody can watch. Just like we have so many viewers, and I had to pull it up so I won't forget. In Germany, the Philippines, my Philippines rock will stand on radio. Heck,
that's what I'm saying.
Amen.
Ghana, Italy, India. We got Albania, Mexico, the Ukraine, Botswana. Just and we have Sweden, Stockholm, Sweden to be exact.
Stockholm, Sweden is when they gave me my award for being creative and innovative business and thought.
That is incredible.
People, like I said, And I'm not somebody that have a key to the city. I don't have my Candace Day in the city of Houston or the JCF firm. I don't do that because my thought process is bigger. And that's one of the reasons why I became campaign manager for Deidre Gilbert that's running for governor of Texas.
Yes.
Because we needed a change. We needed to heal. If I'm an entrepreneur and I'm here to solve problems, this lady is here to try to heal the wounds of Texas that have been conditioned over decades.
And I really hope that we get behind her. I hope that people will give her a chance and get behind her, because it's kind of leading to what I want to touch on just briefly. I'm not going to touch on it too long.
That's okay.
But our current governor, you know, I felt very triggered by him this week. Being a survivor of rape myself, and a person who did, this is the first time I ever said this on air, but did get an abortion at a very young age because of rape.
Right.
Somebody who went through that. I am that person who went through that.
Yeah.
So for him to say, we're going to pass this law where people can't get an abortion, we don't care if you've been a victim of rape or incest.
Yeah.
And to say, well, the answer is we're just going to get rid of our rapists. How dare you belittle us? How dare you insult us? I felt very triggered. I felt insulted, because who are you to say you can get rid of our rapists?
But see, but this is where you have to understand, before it got to Abbott, it went through other people's hands. It was written by other people's hands. Mm-hmm. This is where we have to stand up and make the people that we put in office accountable. They have to hear our voices. Amen. You can't sit back and worry about if you're not going to get that $300 check this month. You need to let your voice be heard, because while y'all sitting here, COVID. Oh, look at the weather. Oh, look at traffic. COVID. Look, they in the back room signing your life away.
Yes. And taking away every right they can take away.
And this is the thing. Publicly, when they put these things out, they have to publish them. How many people actually, I'm a different breed, okay? I read everything. How many people actually take the time to read the laws? They passed, and I don't like this number, but I'll put it out there. They passed 666 laws in the last two legislative sessions in Texas. But the only part y'all worried about was the gun law,
the rape
law,
and
the heartbeat law. Y'all worried about and the critical race theory. Now, look, we can have a whole discussion on critical race theory, okay? Yeah. Because that discussion has been around for decades, and people are just not coming to the forefront. Wake up and read, okay? That's the only thing I'm going to say. But if they passed 666, you didn't see what else was in that. You just worried about the top 5, because that's what the media sensationalizes.
Because that what they want you to see, to throw you away from what's really going on too.
Absolutely.
That's the distraction.
So that whole bunch of
that's right. That's why you got to talk to your kids and everything.
So wait a minute. So while y'all standing in line, worry about y'all $100 to get that vaccine.
We coming up with something else to get that $100 back.
Thank you. And then everybody's worried about, we get a $300 tax credit from the IRS for our kid. Do you know that you're getting a prepayment to your 2021 refund in 2022? You're getting a prepayment in 2021 for your 2022 tax return. You don't even realize that. Y'all so worried about the $300. Next year, when you get your tax documents back and you owe the government $600-700, you'll think about it twice.
That's facts.
And I read the IRS book cover to cover every year. So it's like, if we don't educate ourselves and arm ourselves, then they're going to continue to take, and we'll never get the wealth mindset.
But that is part of what I wanted to talk about. So I'm glad you transitioned again for me. And to talking about developing a wealth mindset. Now, a lot of times when I say wealth mindset, people immediately go to money. They immediately think I'm talking about how do I get money. But wealth is more than money. Wealth is, like you said, knowledge, being educated on what's happening around you. Because if you don't know what's happening around you, of course you can't prepare for it. You don't know. You can't prepare for the new tax deduction. You can't prepare for the new property tax that you're going to get hit with. You can't prepare for nothing because you don't know about it. So that, to me, is part of developing a wealth mindset. Stop being scared to educate yourself. Because, of course, if you're waiting on them to tell you, you're going to be waiting forever. They're not going to tell you.
Well, you're going to be dependent on getting false information. And that's the thing. When we don't go out and seek our own knowledge to, create our own opinions, our own thoughts, and voice our opinions and thoughts, then we're setting ourselves up to continue to follow the master. So when I say the word master, I don't want people thinking, she's talking about slavery days. No, I'm talking about the overall system that's dangling you with strings.
Yes.
Right. You need to master that system. You need to know what's going on.
You need to know it. Like I tell everybody, I play chess, not checkers. Right. So you have to know what chess move you finna make because they finna make one on you.
And that's another whole thing because that's something I really believe in. I believe in 3 principles for having a wealth mindset. One is knowledge. You have to be a continuous learner. You got to be learning every day, all day, something new. The other thing is knowledge and acceptance of yourself.
And love.
Because the thing I feel like Black people miss the mark on in a major way is that you are in the image of God. That means you are a God. That means you have God power, God ability, God creative energy in you. So you can't be scared to walk away from a job that ain't paying you enough. You can't be scared to tell them, no, you're not going to belittle me and mistreat me because of a little check. You're a God. Why you depend on them?
But at the same time,
why are you looking for another savior when the one in the mirror is the one that has the answer?
That's why I'm a Buddhist.
I can relate.
That's why I'm a Buddhist. We call it cleaning the mirror. Okay? That's why I'm a Buddhist, because everything that you want to change about your life is within you already. Absolutely. And when you're talking about God, I don't care what religion you are. I don't care about what, spiritual guidance, whatever, right? All religion, everything that's like that is about peace and love. So if peace and love is already in you, how did we become such a toxic society when peace and love is already within you?
Come on, that's it right there.
So that's why I do the things that I do, because I decided a few years back, I'm going to love me and embrace me and be cool with my weird clothes and my quirky glasses. And
I was going to ask for them glasses.
I have to be cool with who I am in order to figure out how I can make some kind of change. So to me, if I don't love me, how can I go out here and show my clients love? How can I show my community love? How can I show my globe of my brothers and sisters love?
You can't. It wouldn't be within you to do it.
Yeah.
If you don't give it to yourself first. But the reason why I know that helps you develop a wealth mindset is because that's what I did for myself. I heard what you said earlier about you changed your own life.
Yeah.
I can relate to that so much because a lot of people who followed me through my days on nonprofit, they know my story. They know that I was abused as a child, molested as a child. They know I suffered domestic violence. I suffered from a lot of hardship and trauma at a very early age. But the way that I got out of that is I looked in the mirror one day, and I won't never forget, I probably 7 or 8 years old. And I swear I heard something say to me, you are it. You are the God. You are your own savior.
Bam.
Everything that you need is inside of you. It's up to you to find it, cultivate it, nurture it, and it will pull you out of anything you ever get into.
But you have to be open. You have to be open to be in tune with your star player. Ain't that what Cat Williams said? Cat Williams said you have to be open to be in tune with your star player. And the thing about it is, the person that I changed into, I was a person that did not smile. I used to be very judgmental about everything. Am I like a perfect person? No. Okay. Because like I said, everybody has a life journey. Certain things that are in you, you have to figure out a way to get them out. Yes. Right. But it's kind of like, okay, people notice a change in me gradually. And this is the thing. When you're going through a healing process, it's going to interrupt and irritate people who are still toxic.
Amen. Mm-hmm. Cause like me.
So people don't have to like me, but you're going to respect me and respect my brain and know that I'm here actually to serve you.
And I will show you.
Yes.
Better than I could ever tell you.
I can show you too.
See, because that for me, it just instantly gave me a wealth mindset. Because I knew even as a child, I didn't have to go without nothing I wanted or needed for myself, physically or emotionally. I knew that I had the answers for that. Right. So I would just tell my dad, look, I'm gonna need some candy to sell. I came up with all kind of ideas as a kid. I had my money right.
I used to sell mechanical pencils. I
set a goal when I was in high school in the 10th grade, and I just watched everything. I'm gonna tell you straight about. And then when I went in the military, it was the last place anybody thought I was going. And so that's why I like, you know what? This is it. And I made a goal. Then I say, when I turn 50, I won't be working for no white man. I put a label on it because, and I wrote that when I went into the military. I was sitting at that table, like I tell you, people know what's going on. My brothers and sisters that's with the government and with these hospitals, we just got to be real with yourself. Because I set off in that basic training camp, whatever I say, I'm not working for no white man after I turn 50. And from then on, I had my own goal. I didn't care. It's a lot of things that happened in my life where it turned off my family, my friends, where they thought I was being selfish, this and that. But you know what? Look where I'm at now.
Right.
And I don't regret the way I grew up. I don't regret the way I treated people because I knew my goal and I wasn't going to let them tear me down.
There you go.
But, you know, like you said, it came with, oh, he's mean, he's hateful. Nah, I knew my background. I knew I had to take care of my wife and my kids. And I wasn't going to be that dude going to be calling my wife, dads, and them and stuff, you know. So I made it happen. You know what I'm saying? And like today now, you know, and like today now, you know, I ain't worked since I was 45 years old. Okay. And I went back to work because I had came back home to take care of my mom. But when my mom passed, man, no, that was it. Heartbeat gone. So I don't work. I ain't worked a day in my life. And you know, I got 3 kids. All 3 of them are lovely.
Yeah.
My daughters are road runners and my son is a road runner because I love the way he just made his own choice and doing what he do. But, you know, that brings a lot of problems with you. But, you know, you got to tell your kids to do what they do. And me, because they'll tell you, man, my daddy ain't finna cut no corn on me. Like, and see, but that's more respect, I feel. You know what I'm saying?
And the thing, you know what I learned and it was like a few months back, right? Because you follow me online. You see how I post different things. People always thought that I posted things to brag. That you're bragging about who you meet, you're bragging about who you're working with, you're bragging about where you're going, who you've been, your accomplishments. I post those things as a daily reminder for me not to look back. Right. And just know that today I did something great today. Today I accomplished something great today. It's really kind of like a little
without worrying about that air that's blowing in your ear all the time.
Because I don't worry about competition. The only competition I have out here is me. And I wrote out my plan and I did it my way and I made no excuses and I don't kiss anybody's ass to get it done.
I think it's really sad that people act like you're bragging.
Yeah, I'm bougie, I'm stuck up. Yeah, but I'm bougie, I'm stuck up. Even when I meet people, same thing. Even when I meet people, same thing. They ask, oh, well, what do you do? Then when I tell them, oh, you think you all that? Yes, I am all of that.
Absolutely. Working for the community.
But I don't worry about being all of that to you because I'm all of that to me. Right. But it was like, you don't know what I went through to get here. See, people when you talk about the wealth mindset, you have to recognize and acknowledge that what people got to where they are was through a little bit of everything.
Absolutely. Yeah.
A little bit of everything. So I can't discount your hard work for my hard work because you won an award and I didn't. Oh, no. The universe said it's not time for you to do that. You could get those things, those flowers when you're supposed to. Right. You'll make, excuse me, that money amount when you're supposed to. The universe say not yet. Yeah. It didn't say no.
Right. But, you know, my response has been to people who say, oh, she thinks she all that. No, I know I'm all that, but I know that you are too. The problem is you don't know. That's what a problem comes in, and that's why you're offended by the fact that I do. Yes. Right. Because you don't know it for yourself. And unfortunately, I can't give that to you. I want to give it to people. I want them to see the God ability in them and the God creative energy that is in them. I told myself when I was a little girl, God created the world. I'm going to create my own world. So where in my world, I don't have to worry about all this other stuff in the real world because I'm a create a world for me where I can move forward and into my own healing. We all have that creative energy and that creative power to do that.
But at the same time, we have to be okay with walking away from people who are not ready. Yeah. We got to be okay with walking away with them, right? Because
you gotta be honest.
It's hard. You know what I mean? It's hard.
No, it ain't hard. It used to be hard for me, but now it's not because, you know, you gotta look at it too. A lot of people, and it hurt the ones that really need your help.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Those are the ones that hurt.
Right. Yeah. So a lot of people now it has came to me in a certain way where it just, I'm gonna keep that wall up, but it ain't no bad wall, but hey, yay,
Yeah.
no.
I tell people all the time, I said, I stay in my lane to avoid the crash.
Amen.
And people be like, well, I don't get that. I don't get that part. Yeah. You don't have to get it.
I like that. That's good.
I stay in my lane to avoid the crash, because sometimes I tell people, even somebody come in my office, I'm going to move as fast or as slow on your project as you do. However much heart and dedication you give to it is what I'm going to give on the other side, because I'm still going to charge you.
Yes.
I'm still going to charge you. But what is it doing for your life force? Because when you want something, you don't care. If I told people how late at night I stayed up just to code, now I stay up late because I got people in other countries that when they waking up and they at their desk logging in and seeing my email, it's like 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. I should be going to bed. Mm-hmm. I interviewed people for my radio show pre-record at 4:30 in the morning, where it's like 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon for them. Mm-hmm. I done a month ago. I did a women empowerment for the women in India.
Oh wow!
But I had to be at my desk at 6:30 in the morning with my cameras on and had my coffee, because I'm trying to empower somebody. So the night before, I maybe slept 3 hours. Mm-hmm. Why? Because I just got through with a client in Australia, and then I'm teaching this in India. Sometimes it happens that way, but we have to be open to change. And we have to know that if you don't serve the community, you will never have the wealth you want, no matter if it's wealth in people or money. If you do not formulate a plan for how you're going to serve the community first, you will never accomplish the wealth that you want, and you'll never accomplish that.
I think you just really hit on all my points that I was going to make, because I my first point was knowing yourself, and I forgot what the second one was. It's going to come back to me. But the third one that I was going to hit on is being a planner. If you do not plan your life out, if you don't plan out things, I say this to people all the time. Why do you think they ask you for a business plan before they give you some money? Because they need to know that you know what you're trying to do to get to your end goal. If you do not know the end result that you want, how can you create a plan to get there? It's just like getting to a radio station. It's like getting home from here. If you don't know how, if you haven't planned out your route, how you gonna get there? You don't know where you're gonna go.
Yeah, because I thought you was in the north. I'm like, because you know we live up north. You know, I'm like, oh, sister she's still living down south.
Yeah, but, you know, the thing about this, when you talk about a plan, I wrote out what I wanted to do when I was 19 in a spiral notebook. And my kids found it. We were moving. They found it in a box with all my little high school memorabilia and all this kind of stuff and photos. They just laughing at how thin I was. And I was like, ha, ha, ha. Just remember one day you're going to get older too. Yeah. You're going to have you some extra rolls and it's cool. But I started looking at that notebook and I started looking at my kids. And I told my kids, I said, well, one day I'm going to achieve everything on this list. And I'm proud to say at 42, I only have 4 things left. And one of them, I am almost done with my book, ma'am.
All right. I can't wait.
So it's just one of those things, like you can't achieve anything that you want. You're worthy of it. And I'm a person, I plan, but I'm realistic at the same time to know that life happens. But it's all about how you decide to maneuver when you're going through
your plan.
Yep.
But you can't just throw it all away. When life happens.
You don't give up.
Say, oh, I'm not, it's sick now, I can't do my plan.
No.
You have to have some type of plan. This is something that I enacted within the last, I must say, 6 months. When I interact with a man who's interested in me and want to date me, whatever, I always, now I'm starting to ask, what is your plan for us? And they be like, huh? What you mean?
Well, you say you wait 6 months?
No, I've been doing this for the last 6 months.
Yeah.
Well, you good. That's an invoice.
You're trying to date me. You talking about you, oh, I want you to be my one. Oh, wait, what's your plan for us then? What plan do you have for a future that includes me? And they be stuttering. They don't know what to say. We not compatible.
Man, I'm going over that when I wake up the next morning if we happen to go home.
What?
I'm going over that the next morning.
Oh, okay. I need to know before.
I need to know less than 48 hours. I need to know less than 48 hours if it's just a hit or go. You know,
well,
and see
you
that
within the first 5 or 15 minutes of knowing somebody.
In that respect, I've already established that.
So,
but what I'm saying is, before I go any further, I need to know: do you have a plan for a life that includes a woman like me, or a life that includes me? Do you have a plan for that? And half the time they don't.
But most women say they ask me and that they don't do it.
Oh, I need to know. I need to know.
That's good.
But see, I observe people, right? Like anybody I date, I observe them. I want to see what your relationship like with money. I want to see what your relationship like with your friends. I want to see what your relationship like, with everything that's within you, because that's the only way you can really get to gauge if that your life plan and that person's life plan will work. Because I want to go along for your journey. But I need you to come along for mine.
Continue on.
And you want them to be able to collide, but also remain separate as well. Because that person had life before they met you. They had friends before they met you. Yeah. They had their Friday night hang out with with their people before they met you. I want you to keep all routines because I need to know how you gravitate, period.
Yeah. But I need you to have an idea of how that's going to work though. I need you to have a plan of how you're going to fit that in.
But I'm a workaholic, so I suck at dating. I suck at planning.
But both should have a plan.
I
knock you down. I both should have a plan.
I got a plan.
Because I don't go with that new wave junk about a man needs to take care of one. A man needs to take care of that environment because he's going to automatically take care of his woman.
Well, I don't think that's a new way.
This is how I look at it.
No, a new way of thinking. They think, I'm going to hit on my little young boys. They need to wake up too because they need to pull out more than they putting on these women. Okay. Yeah, y'all came a long way. Y'all strong, backbone, boom. But you're still not as strong as a man when it comes to a mindset of really had to get through something real difficult.
I don't know about that.
No, women are real good, but when it comes to weight,
I don't know about that.
When it comes to weight, I don't care. You can't carry my weight.
But how many men have you known crack?
That's what I'm saying. You gotta be.
Carry my weight.
But that's what I'm saying is so don't belittle that man.
No,
just don't deal with that man.
But the thing about it is relationships. You're supposed to build each other. You're supposed to have each other.
But but most of them getting in a relationship. If that man can't handle them, they're bad mouthing. And so just walk away and let that man alone.
And sometimes too, you have to decipher between if someone wants a relationship or if they just want help.
That's right.
And I can sense that. Yeah, I can sense after 2-3 dates, I already know what you on.
There you go.
Because I'm gifted in that area. I can sense what you on.
Because we ain't.
But think about how many times we ignore the red flags.
I know, especially if you're fine. I'm like, damn. He's I
still see people living in the past, which man, they need to realize they're not 21, 22.
That's facts.
And when you meet someone that's not a virgin, you know what I'm saying?
I hope you're not.
I mean, but I'm not trying to be, but what I've seen in Houston since I've been back, and I dated. I had to date to get where I was, and there wasn't shame about it. But see, you got people that's shame to date and be real about it.
That's true.
That's crazy.
No, you got people shamed to date and be real about it.
That's correct.
Because me, Lisa, I know many women, but no, I got a wife. I got one woman, but I got many women friends.
Yeah.
But I tell you one thing, my women friends respect my wife.
They better.
Let me ask you.
They better.
Women are ashamed. Some people are ashamed to date.
Yes.
And you say yes.
Yes.
Clarify that for me because I don't know why would a person be ashamed.
Okay, getting to so to me it's different stages that you go to before you get to that marriage piece.
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. You meet, you get to know each other, you date. Okay.
Yes.
Then you decide whether or not you're going to be in a relationship.
Yep.
Yes.
And then you go along that journey to see if it's going to turn into marriage.
Right.
A lot of times people want to skip. They think they're going 1 or 2 dates. All of a sudden,
we're going to be married.
We're going to be married.
No, that's only people who trying to be in
lust. There you go.
They're trying to have sex and want to live in a sex partner.
No, that's something that's trying to
communicate that.
I mean, I'm just saying, like a lot of people, they want to, like you said, they want to know the end game immediately. When at the same time, if you're getting to know each other, then you can gravitate towards the end game together. A lot of people go into relationships already thinking about someone's status, what they could do for their life.
Bam.
How can this person fulfill, what do this person have that I don't have that we can make together and become whole? But who's to say that y'all have?
Yeah, because I
done met some people that in the beginning they want to know straight off the bat. Well, what you gonna do for me?
I've met that too, and I let them know I don't know you yet.
No,
and now if you can't take the time to get to know me and allow me the time to get to know you, we're not compatible. Just like dudes who want to say after a few months, I'm in love. No, you're not. You don't even know me. What you mean you in love? You in lust because I put it down on you. And you wasn't prepared. You wasn't prepared for the gift and the skill sets. And then you felt a type of way, but that don't mean you're in love because you don't know me yet. But give yourself some time to actually get to know me.
But at the same time, you said the key word, gift.
Yeah.
People don't understand when you decide that you are going to be in a relationship with somebody, that is a gift. Yes, when you decide to share your body and your mind and your heart and your soul and your problems, your insecurities, your vulnerability, that's a gift.
It is a gift. My time is a gift. I'm just saying. But and the Lisa give it, then the Lisa take it.
I don't care. I'm a gift.
It's a gift.
I'm a gift to all women.
It's
just
a
like
gift.
I'm a gift to all men.
And that's the thing. I look at it.
Yeah,
but I look at it on the flip side too. I'm looking for their gifts.
No,
I take pride in the fact that they are giving me their gift.
Yes, absolutely.
I don't take it for granted.
Absolutely.
So for me, when somebody takes me for granted, I gotta go.
Yeah, I agree. Because
I gotta go.
I've always said
period.
This. You have to know who you're dealing with before you give them too much of you.
That's right.
It's like, imagine giving, I say this all the time to women who are struggling with dating. Imagine giving a diamond to a 2-year-old toddler. You're going to find it in the trash, in the toilet. You're going to find it everywhere. They don't know the value of it. It's the same with a man who don't really know the value of a real woman. I can't give myself to somebody who don't know the difference between me and a ratchet. Why would I do that? He's not going to handle me right. He doesn't know the value.
But I have to say,
so you have to know
I'm still learning
who you're dealing with before you give all of yourself to
them.
But see, I'm still learning. I think for me, I'm still learning that part because I look at it from the standpoint of I want you to understand who I am straight off the bat. I want you to know. Because I may not have the time requirements in which you feel like I need to in order to cultivate this thing. Man, but I'm being honest about that.
You can't satisfy me when
by that.
Yeah,
because for me, I said it earlier. I'm a workaholic.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
I'm a workaholic. You know what I mean?
Patient.
And the thing about it is, I have to learn patience too because then I'm dealing with somebody who don't understand what my work and my creativity and my gifts mean to me and what my lane is. They don't understand why I push so hard for entrepreneurship.
You're not compatible.
But at the same time too, have I truly given them the keys to find out?
Well, you haven't had time yet.
That's right. You ain't gonna give them no key. You'll know, like we said.
You know
when to open that door and not to open that door.
And that's what people have to understand.
I have time.
People gotta know what they really want.
Someone lately who we've been out on a couple of days. He very busy as me. I mean, and it's
that
hard.
Might be beautiful.
Our schedules is crazy. He's always working, and it's hard. But the point is, I'm interested. You know where I'm at. You know I'm busy. Let's set a date for this date. Sometimes it'll be a week away, but I can respect that. I can respect that because at least you put in the effort.
No, I say every relationship still, you still need to have a date once a week.
Yeah,
somebody don't.
But see, people don't wait. People don't understand that.
I'm with that
when
too.
I'm saying that, like,
like
even if you at home, like I'm gonna tell you, like my baby worked from the evening to night, and before we got married, she like juice. We good, and we dated these 4-5 years. We done went on and got married in January because that is my baby, And after I would have married a long time ago, but when that Kobe came. Boom. But me, I had to adjust too now because a lot of people don't want to say it. Like you say, people have lives before that and they have responsibility for that.
Yep.
But still, you two still need to sit down because you got a lot of couples are scared to let that other side know, yo, I got somebody now. It's gonna be a different world, but we still gonna be here. Yeah. And see, that's another thing that's breaking up a lot of relationships too.
But you know what this very
two gotta be online together.
This very wise man this weekend, over the past weekend, I was doing some trail riding and we were sitting down after the event. We sitting in some chairs, just kind of talking in a circle, right? And this, very wise young man told me, he said, I see you out and about, but I don't ever see you dating. He said, you should do some even 10 or 15 minute dates a day. I said,
wow.
That's fun. I mean, watch what he said.
I said, this is what he said to me, and I've been thinking about it ever since. But it's like, okay, I like coffee, but they don't like coffee.
But I'm gonna tell you something. You do it every day, and you don't realize.
But the thing about it is, think about how many times you had a conversation with that person. You ask them how their day going. They ask you how their day going, or they talk to you while they're eating lunch, or they talking to you while you're driving.
Or different people?
They're different people. You never know.
I mean,
you date every day. You don't know.
If you date more than one person, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But you get what I'm saying? It's like I never thought about. I never thought about the 10 minutes or 15 minutes per day.
Me either.
And then he was like, go beyond just asking about how their day was. Strike up a conversation. And I was like, he was like, think about it. When everybody talk about decompressing for their day, he's like, okay, you decompress from your day, then you pick up the phone, you video chat, you shut the world out.
Bug them.
You shut the world out.
I like to be bugged.
When this man told me that, I say, shut the world out. And he's right, because I had to think about how many times I'm on the phone with somebody, and then all of a sudden somebody knocks on my door, or somebody's bringing me something. Hey, did you check your email? Or hey, my business line is ringing, and I'm like, well, hold on, let me answer this call. And then I thought about it. I'm breaking the 10-minute rule every time I do that.
Yeah.
So I've been thinking all week, like, okay, what am I gonna do tomorrow for the 10 minutes?
What
am I gonna do the next day for the 10 minutes?
On this 10-15 minutes, because I'm gonna have to bring this to the table.
Yeah, shut the world. Shut the world out. It's more than just asking about the day.
Should we talk about work or not? Should work be off the table?
Work shouldn't be off the table, but it should only be, how was your day? How was your day? And you sit there, you listen to a couple of minutes, y'all go back and forth.
That's gonna always be work.
But at the same time, think about how sometimes when you're having a hard day, the energy that you're having from your hard day can be exchanged within that conversation. So am I going to talk 5 minutes about, 20 minutes? Am I going to spend the 10 minutes talking about a bad client? Or am I going to say, well, you know what? I wanted to ask your opinion about some apple cider. You like apple cider? I was thinking about apple cider today.
I like that. I'm going to bring that to the table.
So,
because that's all I hear about.
Because like me, that's what I do.
So, look,
I know my baby don't be around.
So the nerdy person that I am, because I wrote out a list. Like, okay, these are some of the things.
I like that.
Because I suck at planning dates and stuff. So for me, it's like, okay, let me write out a list of some things that we could talk about that don't have to do with work, family, or the political environment, or the economic environment. Look, you know what? I saw you in this green outfit last week. I really like that green outfit. Let me text you some pictures I saw online of some other outfits I think you'll look good in. And then that'll start a whole conversation about, but you get my point. So it can start the conversation about, because you might not even know that person's favorite color.
And it keeps you motivated. It keeps you focused on them. Because you like, man, well, let me call my boo. I'll put it like this. This is what I do. When somebody pisses me off now, I don't go to the blow no more. I just go and call my boo. What's up? I think of something crazy. Because the first thing she said, baby, who pissed you off? I say nobody, baby. What are we going to do this day or that day? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It works.
So it's one of those things, like I said, when that young man told me that over the weekend, I'm not going to say his name because, it is what it is. But it was like, that makes sense. And I had to sit back and evaluate all the relationships that I never really gave the energy and time for someone to really get to know me and for me to get to know them, even if we was together for years. Even if we was together for years. I'm thinking they know me and I know them. And then you sit back and like, damn, I didn't even really know what their favorite movie was.
That's a pet peeve for me. If a person is around me for a long time and they don't really know me, I get very upset.
But at the same time,
I'm transparent and I let people in.
But at the same time, you have to remember, a lot of people are not used to dealing with real people when they first get in a dating scene. Yeah. They're used to the representative.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then when the real you come out, people, well, dang, I don't even know if I like you anymore.
That's real.
Yeah.
That's
what I mean?
Because a lot of times I meet people, they say, what do you do? And I tell them, and they think it's game. Oh, okay. She's saying she got all this shit. And then if they say, I say, oh, you can go to my website or you can go. And once that happens, they ain't got nothing else to say.
But me, I don't even
intimidation. Well, you good then. Those are controllers. You doing good. You let them go.
But see, people get mad at me. I be like, you can Google me, right? Yeah. You can go in any podcast app and type in my name, right? You can go into YouTube and type in my name. You're gonna see about 50 interviews, and
you can go anywhere and type anybody's name.
Hey, Closha Davis. I hope I said your name right, Closha. She says, "Oh, okay, now I like this conversation. Interesting." Well, thank you so much for tuning in. We are doing this is very interesting. I have learned so much tonight. We went over the time. Hey! But I agree with Closha, with Miss Davis. I think it's Keosha. I had to put my glasses on. But very interesting topic. I learned something about the 10-15 minute days.
I'm learning. Okay. I am learning, because I know sometimes I could get on the phone and talk about who made me mad, this or something I love today, something I hated today, but then I have to stop.
Yeah.
I have to stop.
I like that.
And I love that. But I got to make sure, even though I'm focused, I get too quiet in the conversation. So I'm still working that piece out, because I'm so busy listening and intaking that you still here. Yeah, I'm still here. I'm listening. Yeah. So I have to make sure that I'm engaging as well. So for me, I have to learn how to do that. I'm trying to learn how to leave the office. You'll be so proud of me. I lock up my laptops. I don't even sleep with my laptops in the bed no more.
Wow, that's huge.
That's huge.
Yeah, because I used to do that too.
See,
now it's just by the bed.
I don't even do that.
I gotta keep it by the bed.
You know what I do now? This is what I do. I have learned to turn my do not disturb on from 10:30 p.m. until 8 a.m. the next morning, even on the weekends. I have learned not to grab my phone as the first device in the morning. I learned how to sit there, be one with myself, drink some hot lemon water, and meditate, and I chant for about 20-30 minutes. Then I get up and take a shower and start my day. And then at 8 o'clock, I check my phone. I'm learning at 8 o'clock. So I'm learning.
Tell me check at 8:30.
Look, Lisa, because me and you talked about this struggle. I'm so good to the point now where only thing, if I have everything in my backpack, I leave my backpack by the front door, laptops inside, and only thing I'm taking is the phone and the charger. And then I'm even to the point now where I put the phone on a whole nother dresser.
Oh, wow.
Because y'all working hard.
I want to get to that.
I'm learning. Because, look, I'm not going to be able to date successfully if I don't. And I have to learn how to have fun again. I got so wrapped into business and who I am as a businesswoman that I forgot to have fun. Where in my 20s and 30s, I had to remember me having a whole bunch of fun was down a destructive, toxic path.
But
I had to remember now that I can't look at that from a fear standpoint. Right. I can let go and have fun and still be the business guru. I'm learning.
I'm learning. Go back to that scared to dating. That's serious.
So that's when I had to sit back and look at it and say, well, damn, Candace, this is why none of your relationships worked out in the past. This is why.
Well, I've always handled, I know that I've handled my relationships.
This is why.
With businesses. I know that. And I'm trying to get out of that. I've had everybody I've been with sign a contract.
Yeah, you can't put everybody on. You can't have everybody signing the look, you cannot do the non-disclosure.
I found mine though now.
But see, you good. See, I'm bad because back in the day I used to invoice for dates. You want me away from my office, I'm gonna send you an invoice and you gonna pay it. And when you show up for the date, that's the money for the date. If you 20 minutes later, you don't show up for the date, that money just it goes to charity.
See, charity.
Because my thing is this, if I'm grinding because I'm trying to get to my goal Monday through Friday, if you want to pull me away from that, that's billable hours I could bill to a client. So show me you serious.
But you see how y'all saying this?
Hey, Ms. Davis,
did you do that for the man? A lot of women can't do that for the man, though.
I have never thought about it.
This is good talk.
I know, but you get what I'm saying? It's kind of like, and I had to learn how to communicate with people that I date. You don't understand all of the struggles that I went through and how lost I was for so many years in depression, anxiety, self-loathing, imposter syndrome, bankruptcy. I lost everything. So for me, when I'm dating somebody now, I get a little nervous, a little apprehensive because I keep thinking if I break the habits that made me successful, I'm going to lose everything again.
I can understand that fear.
That's real.
I can understand that. But we could just create another world. We could. That's what I'm saying.
But I have to tell people the business guru and Candace are two different people. Don't let them pearls and these funny glasses on Facebook and these fly jackets, don't let it fool you. Candace is different than the business guru, but you have to be open to get to know Candace.
Well, that is
but
big.
You got to understand the
that
guru.
Is big because so many people fall for the person they see on
YouTube
or on Facebook or for me, the person they
let them fall for it though, you know.
Yeah, so, but that person is different.
So you let them fall for it. So that right there, people that fall for junk shit, they don't need to be around in the circle.
But see, my thing is this: I'm a different person in front of business clients. I'm a different person when I'm speaking in front of a room full of people.
But you still want a man that's confident enough to come up to you and talk to you the way you want to be. See, and
I'm different.
But you know, it's not like that no more. You know, so.
Well, for me, I
gotta
love
keep it like
a man that take charge.
That's right.
And that's the reason why this new friend I got. That's the only reason why there was a second date. Because quite frankly, the first one was, Lord, I hope he can listen.
If he is,
I'm not
gonna lie. It was somewhat boring, but the reason why we got to a second date is because I'm the type of woman I gotta make decisions all day, every day. I don't want to make decisions about a date.
Thank you.
I don't.
Me and you relate to that. Me and you the same way on that. Yes.
I'm free on this day.
Me and you the same in that way.
Meet me here at this.
There you go.
I'll be like, yes.
And look, I'm to the point where somebody can come and pick out my outfits for the date. Okay,
me too.
Like send me a picture of what you want me to look like on your arm walking out the door. Because look, I had to get a stylist on my team just to dress me for appearances and photos and everything else to be all right with my quirky style. Because I couldn't figure out what my style was, but once I figured that out, then my stylist is like, okay, God, I'm just gonna see your invoice every month. But now I have to figure out, okay, because I dove into what I do so hard. Now it's like, well, dang, how do I even dress for a date?
Well, men, y'all hear me out there. Don't be afraid to approach a highly active woman because there's a lot of men. There's a lot of them scared.
I know that. I've had
a lot of them
on social media, and then I will say, well, I don't like to really talk across a computer. So if you're that interested in me, we need to meet in person. They ain't down with that. And I'll be like, well, maybe you're not real.
Well, then, no, that don't mean
I am real.
Sometimes you got to respect. No, but you got to you got to respect them, too, at the beginning, like you want them to respect you. And see, a lot of respect ain't being given.
Well, I mean, I can't respect a person I haven't never seen in person.
All right, then. So you taking a chance right at the beginning.
Look, let's be real. I'm cool with meeting people in any space I meet them. Okay, I'm gonna tell you why. Because at the same time, my clients that are international can't come to my office space. Am I not gonna take that chance?
Yeah, but demands turn everybody off. The demands turn you off, right? Lisa, baby, that's my sister. I love
Lisa, right?
Time to go.
Look, this is Candace Joseph, the business guru. We're just gonna say, just be open to love, be open to knowledge, be open to changing, and it's okay to break free of those strongholds to get to that wealth phase that you want to.
Absolutely,
it's cool.
And this sound wide, y'all, boy, that's been on the block all through the Facebook. Just be real with them, because I'm real with them.
Yes.
Be real with them. You'll get far. You'll get far, real far. Oh, hi, friends.
And tell everybody where they can find you on social media.
All right. Well, on Instagram, you can find me at Candace the King. On Facebook, I'm Candace Joseph. You can look up the Joseph Consulting Firm on all platforms, including LinkedIn. What else? You could call me 713-425-0510. And don't be surprised if I'm the one that's answering the phone. a lot of people are shocked that I answer my own business line, but I do. You can also look up my radio show, The Business Knowledge Broker Hour with Candace Joseph. On all platforms, it's at the BKBH. And hey, if you are out there, go to Deidre Gilbert for Governor and press that like and press that share and add it to your community. Let's get a great woman in office who's really for all of the people. She really has a bipartisan attitude, and I feel like that, she should do that. Matter of fact, I'd love for her to sit down and talk with you.
I would love that too. That would be awesome. We got to make that happen.
Should come any day.
For sure. We got to make that happen. So thank you, Miss Davis, for watching. Kiosha, she says, first she said, amen, Candace Joseph. Then she said, you have to have that balance in a relationship.
Yeah.
She also says you have agree and disagree. So I think she's agreeing with something. I'm not sure, but let us know what you mean by that. But thank everybody for tuning in. We went way over our time, but you know, I had 2 special people here tonight, so I wasn't trying to put them on a time limit. We talked about a lot. I didn't get to some of the things, but just tune in next Friday, and I will get into some of the things that I wanted to talk about this week. And any last words for our listeners, you guys?
Stay blessed, stay safe, get your shots, and wear your mask.
All right.
You know, educate yourself so that way we can break free and forgive ourselves and know that we can walk in peace, love, knowledge, and strength every day.
Amen.
I think that's all I got to say.
All right. I want to thank both of my guests for being here. It's your girl, Lisa Denae. You know, you can follow me on all social media platforms under Lisa Denae. And of course, I am the hostess that does the mostest. So if you want to be on my show, just send me an email, booking@stunnerradio.com. If you're listening on any of the podcast platforms, please leave a comment and give me a rating. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
You are now in the presence of a real one. You are now in the presence of a real one. You are now in the presence of a real one, a real one, a real one, a real one. Catch my smoke, smoke, catch my smoke, smoke, catch my smoke. I hope you don't choke, choke. You're looking crazy 'cause you thought it was a joke.